Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Tammy Talks here. Let's go ahead and get into Married at First Sight Season 14, Episode 7. This is my decision day. If you're brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns of various TV shows, both scripted and reality, interjecting my own thoughts, opinions, and theories into each and every recap. So, if you enjoy that type of content, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads, and then hop into the comment section. Let's talk about this, y'all. So let's talk Jasmina and Michael. I feel like every other scene, I'm pissed at Jasmina. I'm pissed at Michael. I'm on Jasmina's side. Now I'm on Michael's side. I see why both of their draining asses are single. I can tell you that. So the episode starts off with Jasmina and Michael are talking. They're in the new place, or the neutral apartment, and she's saying that she's used to living with a guy because her current roommate is a guy. So she then asks him, has he ever lived with a girl? He quickly says no and shakes his head. She was like, never? He said, never. She said, oh, okay. There'll be some type of adjustment period. She, however, is not going to move in right away because she has to figure out things with her dog, find a new doggy daycare. And I'm like, Jasmina, girl, just say you don't want to move in because you need some space. He tells her that he doesn't want her to leave because it starts to create a pattern that when things go wrong, they're going to kind of run away from responsibilities, and that's what drives a wedge into the relationship. I personally think, as a requirement of being on this show, that y'all have to live in this apartment together unless there is like some type of physical violence or a threat of physical violence. But not living in there, because not living in the apartment because you need space, not moving into the apartment because you don't think the other person is attractive, not moving into the apartment for any of those superficial things, I think is silly, and kind of that's not really what marriage is. Because when you're married and you have an argument with your spouse, are you going to run and go to someone else's house all the time? Are you going to run and go to a hotel? They live in 2-bedroom apartments for a reason. So she leaves. She said it's just because of the dog, but then she says in like a confessional later that she is really leaving because she thinks that some space will be good. She wants to have a reset. So she does go. I mean, she's still in the process though. She goes over to Michael's apartment, and over his bed he has a painting of a naked woman. She asks him, who is it? He said it's just a random person. It's a friend of his. It's a painter, painted the picture poster for him. He got clothes and hampers. And I always wonder, like, y'all know that a part of the process is your spouse coming over to your house. Why don't y'all clean up? I also don't understand why these women are all like, oh my God, you live like a bachelor. They are. They are bachelors. Like, there are some men that really have their apartments looking together and it's decorated nicely, but for the most part, a lot of men live very basic and simple in their apartments. It's catered towards them. I don't understand why we go through this. I'm like, I got an apartment every single time. Like, it's weird. So she asks him, so where are your roommates? Let's see the roommates. He ignores the question. I said, okay, strike one. So then she sees like some random things around. She's like, oh, you're into crystals? He's like, no, that's my roommates. There's like golf stuff, golf stuff in the corner. No, that's my roommates. He said, so how many roommates do you have? She says 2. Cue random female roommate running into her room. She looks at Michael and said, why didn't you mention that you have a female as a roommate? He said it never came up. Michael, you a bold-faced ass lie. Y'all just talked about it yesterday. So she's looking at him and he was like, it didn't come up. Later that night, they're at the new apartment and she asks him to kind of clarify if he has one roommate, one female roommate or 2. He said he lives with 2. She asks, why didn't he say anything? He said, well, I didn't purposely lie. Yes, you did. You did purposely lie. This isn't a lie by omission. You flat out bold-faced to her face lied and said you have never lived with a woman. I'm on Twitter There was a gentleman that said that Jasmina was overreacting to that they're married. Why does it matter? It matters because it sets a precedent on Michael lying about little irrelevant things. Jasmina doesn't care. She lives with a male. You know what I mean? It's fine. I mean, people have roommates of the opposite sex all the time. I think it's more of the issue of why did you lie about something as basic and minuscule as this? So Michael keeps saying, "I'm not." You think I would come up with a lie for whatever reason? And my thing is, it could be very platonic of you with these two female roommates, but you're making yourself look very, very suspicious because instead of you just saying, okay, yeah, I lied about it, you're talking in circles around it. He said that it shouldn't seem, or she shouldn't make it seem like he's just trying to get away with something. You clearly were, though, because she even told you she didn't care, but here you are still lying. Oh, it never came up in conversation. I figured it would come up when it would come up. It did come up when it came up when she asked you, have you ever lived with a female? Michael and Jasmina are both the problem in this relationship. One, because she harbors on things. She harbors on things. She holds grudges. And to him, because he's just fucking awkward. He's a very socially awkward male who just does not being questioned about why he does things. Did Jasmina overreact? I don't think she overreacted. Do I think the conversation should have transferred back in until the second conversation back at the apartment? Not necessarily. But again, I would like to have a more in-depth conversation about why you lie straight to my face when I asked you a very small, minuscule question. Because to me, Michael is a liar. What else is Michael lying about? We see Michael lying just like that. So for everybody that's saying Jasmina's lying about how he's yelling at her, Michael is a liar. So now I have to believe that Jasmina, when she says that Michael be yelling at her. So Pastor Cal comes over, asks him how it's going, and they both just look at him. He said, all right, that's how it's going. Let's get to the root of it. So Jasmina said that her real issue with Michael is how he talks to her. His tone is aggressive. His tone is disrespectful. It's condescending. She doesn't like it. He said that he feels that him telling her that he blows up sometimes has backfired because now she's anticipating that. She said, well, it's not just what he said, it's what his friends have said, it's what his sisters have said. He has a temper, he blows up about things, and she's kind of anticipating the tick, tick, tick. She's waiting for it, right? So she said that off camera, he yells at her and he gets loud a lot when he talks. And he's like, no, I don't. So she was like, Michael, what we not gonna do is sit up here and lie and make me look like I'm crazy. Pastor Cal tries to interject and Michael cuts him off. And I said, oh, okay. So then they kind of go back and forth with Michael saying that he can agree to speaking to her with her in a condescending tone, but he wasn't yelling. He never got loud with her. But if she wants to say he was disrespectful, he'll own that, and he'll own her saying she was condescending. Own that you were yelling too, Michael. So Pastor Cal said, damn it, y'all gonna listen to me. Because he's tired of the bickering back and forth like kids. So he asked Jasmina if she can forgive and move on. Jasmina has to learn to not hold these grudges. Carol, keep your head on the swivel at all times, but don't keep holding these grudges to where he can never redeem himself, because y'all are never going to get past that. Jasmina's stubborn, Jasmina is just judgmental, and we see more and more every episode why Jasmina is single. Pastor Cal then asked Michael if he knows the difference between talking to someone and talking at someone. And that is a very big problem that a lot of people have. Not just men, but a lot of people in general, where they talk at people instead of talking to people, you're going to get a very, very different response when you talk to people in that matter. And he told Michael, this is not your subordinate. This is not your child. She is not beneath you. This is your wife. This is your partner. Once they figure out the communication, Pastor Cal thinks they'll be fine. They won't, because like I said from jump, Jasmina is not attracted to Michael. She's not attracted to Michael. And I think she was willing to kind of move past that, but Michael keeps doing little things like the line about this, the yelling, the condescending tone, the way that he's very pessimistic about life. So she's coupling all that together and locked in with her stubbornness, her inability to let go of a grudge, her inability to forgive people. And I think the fact that she just wants to be in charge. She wants Michael to do what she wants Michael to do. Michael is spoiled and has been babied by his sisters. They are not going to work. I had high hopes for them, the highest of the highest hopes. They are not going to work whatsoever. But we will see how that works out. Let me know how you guys felt. Do you guys think that Jasmina overreacted? Or do you guys think that it's just a little white lie? Do you guys think that Jasmina overreacted and this is just a little white lie? Or do you think that Michael lied about something as small and I always say don't lie about things that can be fact checked. So Michael lying about something that can be very easily proven false sets a precedent and a tone for how this relationship is going to go. Because in my eyes, I don't know how she can trust him when you lie about little stupid things like that. If you have not already, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video. Catch you guys in the next one.